Overnight, Twitter marked one of President Trump's tweets as having manipulated media. The president last night tweeted a video of a fake CNN report with the headlines, "Terrified toddler runs from racist baby," and "Racist baby probably a Trump voter." The clip shows a young white boy chasing a black boy before showing, quote, what actually happened in the viral video from last year of the two toddlers running toward each other, each ending in a hug. The doctored video ends with the words on the screen, "America is not the problem. Fake news is. If you see something, say something." Twitter said they labeled the video manipulated media to, quote, give people more context. Okay. Also yesterday, Facebook removed a Trump campaign advertisement yesterday for featuring a symbol used by Nazis to identify political prisoners during World War II. The ad showcased an upside-down red triangle, which the Trump campaign claimed was used to invoke Antifa, the anti-fascist group the president has blamed for vandalism during the nationwide police brutality protests. Facebook said in a statement, "We removed these posts and ads for violating our policy against organized hate. Our policy prohibits using a banned hate group symbol to identify political prisoners without the context that condemns or discusses the symbol." Before the ad was removed, however, it received more than 1 million impressions across President Trump and Vice President Mike Pence's accounts. It is not clear whether the Trump campaign was aware of the origins of the symbol, but Trump campaign communications director Tim Murtaugh defended the ad in a statement to the New York Times, writing, quote, "The red triangle is a common Antifa symbol used in an ad about Antifa. Pretty straightforward." He also proceeded to point out that the red triangle was not listed as a hate symbol by the Anti-Defamation League. The moves yesterday by Facebook and Twitter are in the positive direction. But the fact that those are considered big news shows you how deep a hole we're in here with social media. And Joe addresses this in his latest op-ed for the Washington Post. It's extremely powerful. It's entitled, "Zuckerberg Says He's Disgusted by Trump's Rhetoric. It's Just Crocodile Tears." And Joe writes this. The Travels of Sir John Mandeville was a supposed memoir that Christopher Columbus used as a reference guide, despite the book's fantastical tales of journeys across oceans and treks through strange and beguiling lands. The author described one destination where crocodiles would slay men and weep while devouring their flesh. I was reminded of Mandeville's crying crocodiles while reading the fable in which Facebook founder Mark Zuckerberg unconvincingly assured Americans he was, quote, deeply shaken and disgusted by Trump's incendiary rhetoric, which Zuckerberg's website promotes and profits from every second of every day. The Facebook founder failed to shed a tear while Russia-based operatives published at least 80,000 posts on his site throughout the 2016 election and beyond. The social network later admitted that the Russian propaganda it allowed to spread on its website reached as many as 126 million users, even after the election. Zuckerberg dismissed as crazy any notion that Russian use of his site influenced the vote. A year later, Chief Operating Officer Sheryl Sandberg was told by the company's then security chief, Alex Stamos, that Facebook had yet to contain the Russian infestation. The New York Times reported this. Sandberg yelled at him for being disloyal. 3 years later, Zuckerberg clearly remains unfazed by warnings over his site's content, even when those raising red flags are nearly 150 scientists funded by his own family's institute. In a letter this month, those scientists pleaded with the Facebook chief executive to stop the social network from spreading racist rhetoric, misinformation, and incendiary language that harms people or groups of people, especially in our current climate that is grappling with racial injustice. Zuckerberg responded to these pleas with little more than a dribble of crocodile tears, while proclaiming his concern over the raw, unfiltered sewage of propaganda that he allows his site to spew daily, the CEO continues to profit mightily off hate groups and conspiracy theorists whose dangerous ideas are given a long reach on Facebook. Federal officer David Patrick Underwood was allegedly murdered by a member of the far-right Boogaloo Boys, who investigators say used the George Floyd protests as an excuse for the killing. NBC News' Andrew Blankstein and Ben Collins reported that the suspect allegedly posted the Boogaloo Facebook groups and that Zuckerberg's website recklessly promoted the group to other unsuspecting users prior to the killing. Zuckerberg also published President Trump's false charge that a 75-year-old man battered by the Buffalo police was a member of Antifa. With a pro-Trump congressman's call for hunting down Antifa members appearing on the same social network, one wonders what awaits the peace activist when he finally leaves his hospital bed. Will the Facebook founder shed a tear for the battered senior citizen if a cruel fate befalls him because of conspiracy theories allowed to fester on his website? And will the Facebook founder attend the funeral of future pandemic victims who fell prey to the lies of a conspiracy movie that attacked National Institute of Allergy and Infectious Diseases Director Anthony S. Fauci and dismissed COVID-19 as a plot hatched by a cabal of elites using the virus to make money and seize power? Zuckerberg and Facebook didn't act to remove the film until this blight on public health had been liked, shared, and commented on by nearly 2.5 million viewers and was seen more often than a Taylor Swift concert announcement and the Office cast's Zoom wedding. With more than 115,000 Americans dead from COVID-19, why are Facebook and its founder not responsible for the damage caused by spreading such conspiracy theories? The more critical question now is why Congress continues to allow Silicon Valley billionaires such as Zuckerberg, Sandberg, and Twitter's Jack Dorsey, whose company is likewise not liable for its reckless and damaging practices, to rake in billions by publishing violent rhetoric, deadly misinformation, deranged conspiracy theories, and foreign interference that debases America's culture, coarsens its political debate, and erodes our very democracy. Congress still lets these conglomerates luxuriate in absolute immunity from the harm they cause to Americans' life. Citizens can hold car companies, airline corporations, restaurants, doctors, and small business owners liable for problems that they cause. Yet tech billionaires bear no personal responsibility for the wrecked lives and damaged democracies that lay shattered at their feet. Mark, Cheryl, and Jack, you have revealed yourselves to be vapid vulgarians who put at risk Americans' health, racial justice, fair elections, and basic truths. Worse, Americans can't even trust that you won't allow foreign spies to undermine this year's presidential election. You have already proved yourself capable of turning a blind eye to foreign interference so long as the advertising checks clear. That is but one reason the monopolies you lord over should be broken into pieces, the immunity that holds you harmless should be stripped away at once, and the companies you run should be sued into bankruptcy. Perhaps then, American democracy will have a fighting chance to survive. Still ahead, President Trump says he deserves credit for making Juneteenth, quote, very famous. Morning Joe is back in a moment.
Thanks for checking out MSNBC on YouTube, and make sure you subscribe to stay up to date on the day's biggest stories. And you can click on any of the videos around us to watch more from Morning Joe and MSNBC. Thanks so much for watching.